And hello, everyone. I'm Scot Duke, and welcome to the ClamBake Cafe, the social media arm of the Business Golf Country Club, a private club for golfers, business owners, business executives, and professional golfers. You can be a member of the Business Golf Country Club by going to www.bizgolfcc.com. My guest today, John Raser, is in Orlando, Florida. He's a member of the Business Golf Country Club. He's an entrepreneur and a professional golfer, and he's on a trek to play the PGA Tour. You can learn more about John at his website at www.GoSpeedRacer, that's RASER.com. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Good. Well, I've always wanted to have you here, and it's finally got you on the ClamBake, and so I'm quite excited to have you here also.
Finally, man. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. Let's get right to it. For the viewers here, we have three questions I'm going to ask John, and we'll start off with the first one. John, you have a long background in golf. From your bio that I read on your website, you've received a number of outstanding acclimates in golf. I congratulate you on that. You're heading off to the PGA qualifying school this year. What are you doing to get ready for that massive task?
Well, thanks so much for the kind words, Scott. It's kind of an open-ended question. I'm doing a lot of things, really, aside from just my daily practice regimen, which, entails about 4 to 8 hours a day of grinding, pounding balls, doing drills, a lot of on-course work, hitting shots, working on hitting specific shots. But I have a very detailed regimen that I worked out with my instructors, Kevin Smelt and David Ledbetter, where I have specific tasks I do every single day, whether it's, 15 minutes hitting high draws, 15 minutes hitting low cuts with every single club in the bag. It gets very specific every single day as far as certain short game techniques we're working on, bunker play, putting. It's just, the whole gamut, and it's very, very specific down to like working on pre-shot routine stuff. Doing that in my off time, I'm also playing in a lot of local events here in Orlando, some mini tour events. I was playing out in the e-golf tour and the Hooters tour and some other tours the last couple years. The last few months, though, I've had some family issues and drama that have pulled me home. And so I've been here in Orlando working toward that. But, Q School is the main goal, and that's coming up here in a couple months. And so everything's pretty much leading up to that. As you know, it doesn't really matter how much you do out in the mini tours in terms of winning. You could win 3 events a year, and you're pretty much just going to break even in terms of money, and that would be an outstanding year. My main focus is Q School, getting my card, and moving on from there.
Good. That's excellent. I like to see that you're doing a routine. It's almost a full-time job, isn't it?
It really is.
Let's get to the second question. We'll change roads here a little bit. As I'm well aware, and as most of the viewers here today are well aware, you have a knack for social media. And as I'm well aware, you see the internet is where most PGA Tour professionals need to be. But as you and I also know, they need more awareness of how to use the tools of social media. Will you be continuing being out here on La La Land once you make the tour? And if so, how do you see the PGA professionals needing to use tools like Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn?
I love the question. Let me go back a little bit. A year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago, when I first got on social media, Twitter, Facebook, the whole deal, all the platforms, I realized that for companies and brands, the mini tour golfer is pretty much useless. We're not on TV every week. We don't have necessarily an audience, and the selling power that a mini tour player has is pretty much nil. Their influence on the consumer is pretty much non-existent. So after seeing a friend of mine, Ted Murphy, who's the president and CEO of IZEA, speak at the launch of Blue Frog energy drink last January, I think it was, he was actually just speaking about the power of social media and harnessing the power of social media. And I noticed that there was just this need in the golf world for a golfer to step in and capture the niche. And so essentially what I'm trying to do, or what I was trying to do from the start, was pretty much own the golf niche and use the internet as my platform, since I'm not on TV every week yet. I'm not a household name yet. So I was pretty much deciding to start from scratch and build an audience from there, where I could then go to sponsors and say, look at this massive audience I have. Look at all these Twitter followers I have. Look at all these blog readers I have. Look at these influential people that I'm, locked in with and engaging with and working on different projects with, and, use me as your voice to my audience. Use my audience as your own. And so that was kind of the route I decided to take because, as you know, it's very expensive to play the mini tours. It costs between 80 and 100 grand a year to play a full schedule. So without sponsors and backers, it's pretty difficult to go it alone. So I pretty much just use these platforms, all of them, and try to bring them all together in telling my story and trying to put some new and different content out there because, there's a million golf course review blogs. There's a million product review blogs. There's no golfers putting any real content out there. And to answer your question fully, yeah, I completely intend to stay locked into all these different avenues once I get to the big show because I think it's just so important. Everything in the world is moving toward the internet. This isn't like a fad. This isn't just like, Twitter's going to be around for a year or two. The internet's here to stay, and everything's moving toward e-commerce. Brands, whether they like it or not, are going to have to head toward e-commerce. And referral marketing is the oldest form of marketing, and it's not going anywhere. If you like a movie, you tell your friends you like it, and they go see it. So it's pretty much what the internet is, in my estimation. And yeah.
Well, then you also feel that the PGA professionals that are currently out there and the upcomings that are coming along with you need to learn a little bit more about how to be more personal on the internet, Twitter, Facebook, and be more interactive with their fans, right?
Absolutely. Anyone can broadcast. Anyone can send out a million tweets or blog posts talking about any number of things. But, it takes some dedication to actually care enough to answer people. And it might seem trivial. Just a yes or no answer sometimes is all people want. I just think that there's too much ego with a lot of these athletes, and we're all just people, Everyone is a person on Twitter, and if you're gonna be on Twitter and you're gonna have the, you're gonna have the facade of being approachable, and you got to do it. You can't just be there and act like you're there. You gotta engage with people. You gotta talk with people, and you can't half-ass it. That's my take on it.
I agree, and that's the way business is going now, and that direction of being more personal and trustworthy and building up that trust comes about from being more interconnected with your fans and your customers. In your case,
sure, and transparency is huge with it also. There's no way that half the people that broadcast the stuff they broadcast are as positive as they are every day, or are as politically correct as they are every day. Everyone has an opinion on everything. If you're too scared to say your opinion, then
yeah.
Good luck with that.
Let's go ahead and move on to the third question, and let's turn the tables a little bit because I know that you have a lot of energy in both of these issues. And we'll finally get around to, in this last question, letting you tell us a little bit more about how the members of the Business Golf Country Club, who are you're viewing, and all the viewers out are not members of the Business Golf Country Club, can help you.
Well, first of all, probably just initially I'd say follow me on Twitter, lock into what I'm doing, engage with me, and, let's develop a relationship and a rapport. But aside from that, on a bigger scale, what I'm really trying to do is essentially eliminate all my expenses by linking up with different companies. I'd like to ideally link up with a hotel chain to eliminate my expenses on the road, travel expenses. I'd like to link up with maybe a rental car company. I'd like to get with, more equipment and clothing companies and stuff like that. Basically, I'm trying to eliminate each expense I have because it's very tough to be able to focus on just golf. As a mini tour golfer, if you've got all these outside, pressures, which there are already so many of them self-inflicted on us athletes, but, outside pressures of life and family and kids and money and bills. And if I can eliminate my expenses and just focus on golf, that would be huge.
I agree. And that's a good point. I do thank you so much for being open with that because that can be very detailed and specific, and the members can really grab a hold of what your specific goals are instead of being very vague. John, I really appreciate you being on the ClamBake Cafe today. It's been very exciting, a long time coming. And for the
very long time.
You can catch John on Twitter at John Raser, R-A-S-E-R, and on his website at www.GoSpeedRacer.com. All of this will be posted online at the ClamBakeCafe.com site and Business Golf Country Club member site, as well as its blog site. John, again, thank you so much for being on the
Thank you, Scott.
and we'll talk soon. Everybody, have a great day.